Lord, a bitch, a fuel pump you got in there.
GTA 6 has a fuel problem. And no, I'm not talking about the rumor that cars might actually need gas. I'm talking about the community reaction to it. Because somehow, people are threatening not to buy the biggest game in entertainment history because they might have to refill their car. And to those people, I honestly just have to say, you don't really have the heart for the kind of game Rockstar is trying to make. And honestly, Rockstar probably doesn't care. The show is still gonna go on. But the real problem here isn't the fuel system. It's the people that think a fuel system is automatically bad game design before even understanding how it would actually work. And I understand the fear. People hear fuel system and instantly imagine a driving simulator. They think every 5 minutes they're going to be forced to stop what they're doing and refill gas like it's a second job. But that's not what anybody is actually asking for. So why do people think this? Nobody wants GTA turning into a gas station simulator. What people want is relevance. Because right now, GTA, gas stations barely even matter. They're just scenery. You drive past them 10,000 times and never think twice about them. And that's the bigger point. A fuel system isn't about realism for the sake of realism. It's about making the world feel more alive, more connected, and more reactive. And honestly, people already accept systems exactly like this in games. Think about it. Imagine somebody said reloading guns in GTA 6 would ruin the game. That's ridiculous, right? Because limitations create gameplay. Nobody says, we should have infinite bullets and magazines because reloading is annoying. No, reloading creates timing, pressure, decision making. And fuel works the same way if balanced correctly, not to punish the player, but to create moments. So I started thinking about this from a design perspective. How long should fuel actually last in a GTA game before it becomes annoying? And the best reference point is GTA 5. In GTA 5, driving a fast car around the map on a clean route usually takes around 8 to 10 minutes for one full loop driving nonstop. Now, originally, I was using map loops to estimate the balance. 1 loop, 2 loop, 3 loops.
That's what you know about loopers?
But the deeper I thought about it, loops themselves don't really matter. What matters is continuous driving time. Because players don't think in loops, they think in gameplay sessions. So using GTA 5 traversal as a baseline, I think the sweet spot is around 20 to 30 minutes of nonstop driving on a full tank. And the important part is, that's nonstop driving. Most players are not driving continuously for 30 straight minutes. They're stopping for missions, combat, cutscenes, exploration, which means in actual gameplay, fuel would last even longer than that. Now here's why I think 20 to 30 minutes is the perfect balance window. If fuel only lasts 8 minutes, that becomes annoying. Now you're constantly thinking about gas, that interrupts game flow, but if fuel lasts an hour or more, then the system becomes meaningless. Gas stations go back to being decoration again. So the goal isn't realism, the goal isn't annoyance, the goal is relevance. Fuel should matter just enough to occasionally influence your decisions. That's the sweet spot. A background gameplay system that slowly becomes relevant over time instead of constantly screaming for your attention. And I know some people are going to say, but GTA 6 map is rumored to be way bigger than GTA 5. Okay, but I actually think that makes fuel more interesting, not less. And no, I'm not saying fuel should suddenly last an hour because the map is bigger. That would make the system irrelevant again. What should stay consistent is the gameplay pressure window, that 20 to 30 minute range, because that's where players actually start caring without getting annoyed. A bigger map just means gas stations become more meaningful during long drives, not more annoying, more meaningful. And another thing people overlook, different cars shouldn't burn fuel equally. That would actually make the system way more interesting. A supercar should burn through gas faster, a regular sedan should last longer, maybe trucks and SUVs burn more because they're heavier. Now suddenly vehicle choice matters in a deeper way. Now fuel becomes part of the identity of the car itself instead of just being a universal timer slapped onto everything. And this is the part I really disagree with people on. The idea that any limitation automatically ruins fun. Because if Rockstar followed that logic completely, then why should we stop anywhere? Why reload guns? Why have health? Why have police? Why have car damage? Why have physics? Every great game system is technically a limitation. But those limitations are what create tension and immersion, and Rockstar has always pushed towards immersion. That's literally part of their identity. So no, I don't think a fuel system would ruin GTA 6. I think a badly balanced fuel system could ruin it, but those are two completely different arguments. And if Rockstar tunes it correctly, around 20 to 30 minutes of sustained driving with different fuel efficiency depending on vehicle type, then I honestly think it could become one of those systems people end up loving after they experience it. Because at the end of the day, people said the same thing about a lot of Rockstar mechanics before they even had a chance to actually play them. And every time Rockstar evolves their game, there's always a group of people who resist it. But evolution is exactly why GTA became GTA. And honestly, if having to occasionally refill your car is enough to make you skip the biggest game in history, then maybe the game just wasn't made for you in the first place.